All right, everybody, welcome on in. NorCal Sports Network for the big trade deadline show, but this is number 3 for us today. We've done a show early this morning on Luis Arraez getting traded to the Phillies, and then just about 30, 40 minutes ago, we did a show on Robbie Ray going to the Padres, and we're going to keep you here until the trade deadline show ends. We've got it going. Dallas, take it away. I got another phone call.
All right. Someone's calling Dan, seeing what he can get for me. So we'll see if if I get moved here at the deadline. But yeah, I mean, hi everybody, good to see you. It's been about 15 minutes, so hopefully everybody got a little rest before the long trade show here, the final 3 hours and probably 10 minutes. You know, the trades trickle in past the deadline.
Yeah. You know what I did, Dallas? I feel really refreshed. I got me a shower between shows. Woo! Yeah, it was quick. I barely I didn't know if I was going to make it back in time, but we're here. We'll see if we can. I'm going to turn on the show in the background on my phone so I can. Let me mute myself so I don't hear we get the MLB stuff going over here. There has Adley Rutschman, by the way, was traded to the Red Sox from Baltimore for 5 guys, 5 players for Adley Rutschman. And we're gonna get into the deal more of the Giants prospects that they got coming back. We'll give you a little bit more of a breakdown since we have more time now. We'll pull up some of their statistics, some of their scouting reports. We already gave you the one on the kid. I'm over forgetting his name. There's so many names. What was the kid we gave him, the pitcher?
Killian?
No, the one that came from the Padres.
Oh, the Giants got?
Yeah.
Mendez?
Yeah, Mendez, yeah. Trade Web, Sean Proctor says, absolutely, man, the Giants could really get in a haul today if they were willing to do something bold. I'm going to see if I can get the trade deadline show up here, Dallas. Who's broadcasting that today? Who's broadcasting that today? Is it MLB Network or?
Probably MLB Network. ESPN probably has something too. I do have some comments here from Phillies fans. Someone posted this. These are just random fans. Ramon Marquez being in that deal makes me want to die. Dave is in full panic mode. This is the end of the Phillies as a contender for the foreseeable future. Giving up your best pitching prospect for a rental who could have easily signed in the offseason is why DD belongs nowhere near the current day front office. Especially since Arraez could have and should have been signed in the winter. He only sat on the market for close to a month after Bichette shafted the Phillies. Panic move to give up for a lefty bat rental. I know he's a pure hitter, but I'd feel better about this one if Arraez were under contract for a couple more years, not 2 months. I'm not a prospect hugger by any means. We have to win it all for this to feel good, though. So that's interesting. It kind of reminds me of when the Giants signed Arraez, how a lot of fans were underwhelmed by it, and then they ended up being completely turned around, and to the fact that so many Giants fans are just besides themselves that he would be traded. And it's just a testament to how good of a hitter he is and what a big piece of this team has been this year. I mean, probably a shoo-in for the Willie Mack Award winner had he not been traded. As far as
I think Casey Schmidt gets that.
Probably now, yeah.
Yeah. So, hold on here a second. I think I've got.
And we'll see. It depends on how, if Casey's hurt, he might not be fresh in people's minds. But Logan Webb has never won it, I don't believe. And, he's depends on how he finishes out the season. But interesting here. I'm reloading my Twitter multiple times just to see if anything is popping up. Sammy Stevens, Arise worked on improving himself. He absolutely did. And I think everyone gives Ron Washington a lot of credit, but I believe he worked a lot in the offseason to build himself into not just a serviceable second baseman, a good second baseman. And basically he put in the work and betting on himself, and he's going to end up with a big contract next year. He's going to be able to move into whatever new house he wants to move into. So good for him. Luis Arise, good Giant. Giants are stuck with Chapman. That oblique injury basically nuked any chance they had of passing. Yeah, he's not going to be traded today. And but doesn't mean they can't move him in the offseason if the right deal comes along.
Maybe in the offseason they can do it. Yeah, you're right. Hey, what's the deal on the what do you got watching? I see 379 in here, 380. Most of those are on Twitter. What are you showing on YouTube?
Just only 33 on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. That's not making much sense at all. What is happening with YouTube? Why is what something's not right? Are they not sending it out?
I'm not sure.
It does not make any sense at all.
Well, they've got 159 in the other show. So.
Yeah, I know, but I don't understand why we only have 33 when we have 380 in here. It says we can't have 350 people watching on Twitter.
That's what. Yeah, it says 350 on X. Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Guess we get more people on X these days. Okay. All right. Let me find out what I was pulling this up. I had the Padres. The other player they got was Hernandez, right? The shortstop.
Joniel Hernandez.
Yeah, he was their number 9 ranked prospect. So they got 4 and 9. Let me read you about Haniel or Joneel, it looks like. There's a little photo of Joneel right there. There it is, a little clearer. Okay. He's scouting grades, a hit 45. Let's see, the Pirates, Jeff Passan, the Pirates just came across requiring Luke Weaver from the Mets. Pirates are going for it. They got one of the better relievers on the market, and they got Duvall as well. Looks like they're trying to figure out how to make a bullpen run. All right, so we're looking at Joniel Hernandez here. I read to you about Miguel Mendez, not Menendez, but Mendez. Number 9, Joniel, he is not projected to make it to the big leagues until 2031, which must mean that he's like 16, 17 years old. 17.
17.
Born March 6, 2009. He's a 6'1", 180-pounder. The Padres have typically been heavy hitters on the international market. They certainly made waves by bringing in Ethan Salas in 23 and Leo DeVries in 24, when both were the top international prospects in their class. Well, the Giants got 25 and 26, basically, with Josar Gonzalez and Luis Hernandez.
6'1", 180 at age 17 projects to me that he'll be 6'3", 215, in a couple of years, which means probably not a shortstop long term.
Let's see if he's in the Dominican. Let's read on. He might be older than 17. He
was born in Cuba.
Let's see. Number 1, before you join. San Diego's 26th class is more spread out in terms of talent, but leading the way is Cuban shortstop Hernandez, who trained in the Dominican. Oh, he went over to the Dominican to change his birth certificate. No, I'm kidding. Signing for $1.4 million in January. The right-handed slugger has a whippy swing that comes with a lot of bat speed and easy power on which to dream. Standing at 6'1", 180 pounds, he has plenty of room to add extra muscle too, as Dallas said, because he'll be 6'3". And there's a shot for him to get plus power at fully maturity. Not full maturity, but fully maturity. That's an interesting. Is that how you say it? At fully?
No.
Okay.
Just a typo.
Typo. Okay. Got a Y in there. The looseness and length in his swing comes with some hit tool questions, however. He can swing around breaking balls and off-speed pitches, and that'll need tightening up as he faces pro-level pitching. After signing Hernandez, Padres amateur and international scouting director Chris Kemp mentioned a 6.3, 6.4 60-yard dash is one of the things that stands out most about the youngster. That would give him top-line speed, and even if he slows down as he adds muscle, he could settle into plus wheels all the same. That type of athleticism should help him at shortstop or possibly center field, and if he needs to slide to third base down the line, instead he has the arm strength and pop for that too. Early indications are that he's improving the hit tool, but don't expect Hernandez to be a quick mover a la Salas and DeVries. Or DeVries. I'm not sure how DeVries. Anyway, sounds like a guy with a ton of upside, ton of athleticism. And you're looking at him probably the earliest you see him is 2030. It looks like to me that the Giants are building depth, some more trade pieces when these guys all hit at the same time, and then kind of like the Baltimore Orioles did for a while, with all their prospects. You get them hitting, and then, never hurts to have too much of something good.
Yeah, of course. Especially these guys all start at shortstop and then move around to other positions.
Yeah. The Cubs are acquiring left-hander Braxton Garrett in a trade with Miami Marlins, sources tell ESPN. So NorCal Sports says NCSTL. I wonder if Joneel Hernandez could be flipped in order to sweeten a potential deal that sends Adames out of here. You never know. You never know how these things could work. I know the Braves love young prospects that they seem to develop well. Package him with Adames, but no Ray going to Atlanta as I predicted. But I'm still going to hold out that Adames may get dealt today. I'm hoping.
One can hope.
Yeah, one can hope.
Hey guys, we now have 451 people watching us, 400 on X, and about 40 on YouTube. So hit that like button on YouTube, like that. It's the thumbs up button, and that'll push us out to more people on YouTube. Normally we're doing better at this point. There's probably a lot of people out there talking trade right now, so it's a competitive market. But push that like button, and we'll get in here. So appreciate that. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. So Matthew Nauer, that's the guy that I was trying to get at. He gives a really good breakdown on these young arms, and Matthew Nauer said, wow, Miguel Mendez, the return for Robbie Ray, another stellar addition to the crop of young arms. Let's see. Yeah. So far, the Giants have come up with a lot of young arms. They're building this farm system. I would bet that Joneel Hernandez will slot somewhere right around 12 to 15 in the Giants' top 30. And I'm going to say Mendez pops into somewhere around 6 or 7. And that means
could likely be.
And if Marquez pops in at 5 or 6, you're starting to see a little bit of a picture of what Buster can do here. And the Giants,
especially
and their plan.
You've signed Jackson Flora, and then 2 more pitchers today, and those are going to be your top 3 pitching prospects in the organization. That's a lot of additions in about a month.
Yeah. Waiting for some. Per Ken Rosenthal, Rangers approached Jacob deGrom about waiving his no trade clause, but he told the team he wanted to remain with the club. Okay, there you go. That's kind of what Dallas was saying about Chapman has that authority, and even if they did have a deal for him, if he was healthy, he could just simply say, I don't want to go anywhere.
Yep. They have that option.
That's what these guys want,
Then you say, hey, do you want an extra 5 million reasons to say yes?
Or
I can write a check right now.
Yeah. Or how about just sitting on the bench for the rest of your season? And
you just had a new kid, Matt Chapman. College is expensive.
Yeah.
Probably going to cost about $5 million by the time he's 18.
Yeah. Or you could just ride the pine. Casey's.
That's true too. The carrot or the stick. So you can take this $5 million, or you could sit on the bench while Casey Schmidt plays your position. What do you feel like here?
Yeah. Larry Kruger points, Buster is trying to build a killer 28 pitching staff. I think it's a 29, 28, 20, more towards 29, but
yeah. But pitchers can move pretty fast, but when you're really young, it's takes a little while. But you want pitchers in the pipeline for sure, and the Giants don't have that. Wisenhunt, Seymour, these guys that are getting close, that are just not cutting it. And below that, you got Bresnahan and who else? Not very many others.
Yeah. So this drops.
The pitching is depleted, and they need to restock, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, they're restocking the pitching because they have. I mean, I got to tell you, every time I see Keaton Wynn or a Tristan Beck or a Wisenhunt or who else, the nameless guys that come up from the Giants, I just, there's a word that comes to my mind every time I see them. And you know what that word is?
What?
Mid.
Sure.
They're just mid. They're nothing special.
And Tristan Beck, we've been watching for the past 4 years now. And every year they're like, maybe could possibly be in the mix for the rotation. And we never get a good look at them. Well, now we're starting to get a pretty good feel for what they can do, and it's not good enough. So they can start moving off of those guys and make room for these other younger guys coming up.
Okay, here's the trade grades that just came out here on the Robbie Ray deal by Grant Brisby and Steven Nesbitt. The trade, Giants get right-handed pitcher Miguel Mendez, shortstop Joneel Hernandez. Padres get Robbie Ray. The trade is an A for the Giants and a B plus for the Padres. Let's see. We all know about Ray. So as for the Giants, they somehow transmutated the immovable contracts of Mitch Haniger and Anthony DeSclafani into 2 strong seasons from Ray and a pair of prospects, which is an impressive feat already. The quality of those prospects being as high as it makes the grade one of the easiest so far. Joniel Hernandez is a teenage shortstop bonus baby for the Giants to add to their growing collection, and Miguel Mendez is a high-octane arm in the upper minors, though he's on a rehab assignment in high A now, which is exactly where the Giants need depth. Giants score with the prospects they acquire A+. This is from somebody else. Oh, you thought A.J. Preller was going to shop Mason Miller and Adrian Morejon? No, that's so 10 days ago. The Padres have won 8 of their last 9, and they just acquired the only guy who beat them, Robert Glenn Ray. Ray is far from the pitcher who won a Cy Young in 21 when he led the league in strikeouts, ERA, whip, and innings pitched. His production hasn't matched the value of the 5-year, $115 million deal the Mariners granted him that fall. Yet in San Francisco, Ray's results have been more good than bad the past 2 seasons. Ray is pitching well despite peripherals far reduced from his peak. Sure, okay, all right, to land Ray, let's get off of Ray and get the Giants to eat half of the money. Preller is again spending freely from the Padres. So the Giants maybe are eating some of the money. That's what you do, yeah.
They're eating $4 million.
Good. I wish they would have eaten 8 and got more.
I guess it is a good thing that the Giants lost 3 of 4 to the Padres because they're thinking, oh, we're in this now, and now they're buying.
Yeah, well, they're right. They're a game behind Philly, and Philly's buying. So, who's in the wild card besides Chicago? Is it Arizona that's in there? I know Chicago's the first wild card. I'm assuming it's Phillies is third. Who's second?
Phillies is third, Diamondbacks second, Cubs first.
Okay. Well, the Cubs have a little bit of a lead. What, about 4 or 5 games?
4 games.
Okay. But the cushion between Arizona and Philly,
they are tied.
And then San Diego's like a game back.
Correct.
And then you got a couple other teams in the mix there. You got the Pirates. I'm not even looking. I'm doing this off memory.
The
Marlins. Cardinals are a few more back. I think they've slipped a little.
They're 4 games out.
Yeah. So look, the Phillies and the Padres are both going for it. There's no guarantee either one makes the playoffs. Pirates are going for it. It's going to be a good final 50-plus games. So I was reading, to land Ray and get the Giants to eat half of the money, Preller is again spending freely from the Padres' notably diminished prospect reserves. A breakout prospect last year, Mendez, 24, entered this year ranked by the Athletics' Keith Law as San Diego's number 4 prospect. He has a big arm and a plus slider. The results this season have been uneven, but Mendez could help the Giants at the major league level next year. Hernandez is a 17-year-old Cuban shortstop who the Padres signed for $1.4 million this winter. He has a .927 OPS in the Dominican Summer League. Baseball America ranked Hernandez as the Padres' number 21 prospect. MLB is higher on him, ranking him 9th in the system. That's Stephen Nesbitt. I tend to trust a little bit closer to Baseball America. So maybe Joniel Hernandez comes in about 15 for the Giants, guessing. Let's see if the Giants have actually done any plugging in yet of their let's just take a peek at that. Top 30 prospects, if they've updated any of these. Yeah, Ramon Marquez is 7th. They have yet to put in Mendez. Right now, the Giants look like this. Joshar Gonzalez 1, Luis Hernandez 2, Johnny Level 3, all shortstop, second baseman, third baseman. Gavin Keelan. I always get that wrong. Keelan. Heard it different ways, and Keelan. Yeah, that's the right way. Now, Gavin Keelan is 4, Dakota Jordan 5. So the first 4 are all shortstop, middle infielders. With Luis Hernandez, as you saw him make maybe one of the best plays I've ever seen. Did you see that play a week ago?
Mm-hmm.
Throwing the ball like 20 feet off the foul territory.
Yeah, we played it here on the show.
Yeah, that's right. Dakota Jordan 5, Bo Davidson 6, Ramon Marquez 7, Jacob Brezhnehan 8. I got a feeling this kid Mendez is going to pop in right around Brezhnehan and Keener Martinez. Who are the Brewers acquiring? This just coming
Dustin
across.
May.
Dustin May and left-hander Jojo Romero from the Cardinals. Interesting. Watch the Brewers turn Dustin May around. Okay. Back to the Giants' top 30 prospects. We'll stop at 20. Trevor Cohen is at 10, Parks Harbor 11, Tidwell 12, Wisenhunt 13. I'd move him down. Argenis Kayama, I think it is, 14, Jonah Cox 15, Carlos Gutierrez 16. Carlos Gutierrez, wasn't he the guy on NBC Sports Bay Area? What was his name?
Ramirez.
Gutierrez, Ramirez, close. I knew it ended in a Z. Luis Del La Toro, left-handed pitcher. Yeah, Drew Kavanaugh, 18. Lorenzo Miola, 19. Alberto LaRoche, 20. Oh, Trent Harris, 21. I think we're going to see him up on the big club here on this road trip, I got a feeling. Whose farm would I pick? I'd take the Giants right now over the Dodgers, even though the Dodgers have a higher rating in many cases. But I think their system's overrated. I really do. I think they get a benefit of the doubt. I almost think they're on some of these ratings payroll. All right. I'm going to get ready to rock and roll here, Dallas. Let me send you. All right. You know what? I'll send it to Nick. The
link.
Yeah. Let me send him the link. Right guest. Copied. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I'll head out of here. I got a couple more minutes. Maybe Nick will pop in. Let's see. You got I'm sure you're getting your alerts on. I could not find the show on. I don't know why. I know that Major League Baseball runs a show. Why am I not getting this, Dallas?
Just a reminder to everyone, we've got 51 people watching on YouTube. Just hit that like button so that it pushes us out.
We have over 480 watching on
X.
On X. Hey, X, send some comments in. You can actually make comments.
We've got 24 likes on the YouTube stream, so hit that like button for us. Thank you.
What was the return for Robbie Ray? We've been talking about it. They got two players, a right-handed pitcher, Mendez, and a 17-year-old shortstop out of Cuba, Jonil. What was his last name? Hernandez?
O'Neill Hernandez.
Honeal. So the Jace, it's not Joe Neal. It's
like Jesus, but Honeal.
Yeah. Honeal. Okay. Honeal. I like that. All right. Yep. We just talked about that one a few minutes ago.
However you want to do it, man, go for it.
What's that?
He gently caressed the like button.
Who did?
Danny from the Bay.
Oh, caress.
That works too.
There we go. Only 2. Not a good value. No, it's a good value for a rental. That's a good value for a rental. You got the number 4 prospect and number 9 prospect. Let me see if I've got
for 2 months of a pitcher.
Let me pull up Baseball America real quick here and see what we can. I did have an article earlier here, Dallas. If I open it up and leave, are you able to remove it from the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Baseball America. Where was I looking? I saw, ranking every traded prospect. Let's see if this has been updated. I think I need to sign in. Am I signed in? Oh, no, let me sign in here.
That's pretty funny. Dan's phone notifications are brought to you by Sleep Train. It has the train whistle.
Oh, there we go. All right. Ranking. Okay, here we go, Dallas. I'll pull this up and we'll bring in Nick to the show. Welcome, Nick.
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing?
Good,
hey,
good.
Nick, how's it going?
Just going to pull up Baseball America. I got this email this morning. This is ranking every prospect traded. I don't know if it's been updated. Let me refresh it. All right. It's we see here top 100 prospects, Zaire Hope from the Dodgers to the Tigers. Just outside the top 100. There you go. Talking about Marquez. Has been one of the best pitchers in Class A this year. Top 150 prospects. Do we have any more Giants in here? There we go. Miguel Mendez. Let's click on him. Is that opening up or did it open up? Yeah, it didn't open up, did it?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. I got to open it up in another window.
Oh.
Hold on here. What do we got here? I don't know if it's going to give us not much of a scouting report, so we'll just kill this. All right. Age 24. So he's probably close to being ready. I wouldn't be surprised if he joins the he was on the 40, they said, right, Dallas? I think he was with San Diego because he was kind of Rule 5 or something. I'm not sure what's going on, but I think he may be a guy that the Giants put in the pen right now. Because they've lost how many guys now?
Yeah, he was on the 40.
How many guys have they lost off of the 4 guys now, right?
4,
They've lost Ray, Malley, Arise, and Killian. 4.
Correct.
So they got 4 slots open. They're going to need reinforcements on the 40. I'm guessing that the kid they got for Malley gets put on the 40 and this Mendez.
Well, I think if they're on the 40, they have to stay on the 40.
Right. Or be subject to waivers. Yeah.
Right, which they don't want to do. So
yeah. Hey, I'm going to listen on the phone in the car. I'll be chiming in from the road a little later, but you guys enjoy the rest of the show, and any reports, let's hear them.
all right, we will be keeping an eye out.
All right, guys.
Wire here.
All right.
Thanks for jumping in, Nick. I'll see you
Yeah,
guys.
of course. Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. You guys take care.
You too.
All right, Dan's going to be switching to his phone and heading on the road there. Hey, Nick, how's it going?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Here, I'm sure someone.
Can you
Talk
hear me
again?
now? Hello.
No. Here, I'll exit out
maybe,
real quick and come back in. Yeah.
Yep. So Nick's going to reload here and see. We'll let him back in. Johnny getting happier, almost happy. Okay. Maybe another trade or two and he'll be happy. Okay, so let's get the Twitter up so we can see things pop in as they come in. Can Nick hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, perfect.
Perfect.
So what's been your biggest surprise of that the Giants have made so far, as what you were expecting to get back versus what they've actually got back?
I thought that Robbie Ray, the two teams that I thought of right off the bat that was looking out for a pitcher that I saw was the Braves. So I thought that Robbie Ray would have fit well with the Atlanta Braves or possibly the Chicago White Sox. Didn't see him going to the Padres at all. I didn't see him going in the West, but Arias, I did see him getting traded like East. I didn't know if it was going to be possibly one of the teams in the NL East, like the Mets or something like that. But then he goes to the Phillies. But I like the haul that they got back for the Luis Arias trade.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. And I do like that they kept him in the National League so he can keep trying to add, keep his hits coming in and try to win that batting title. Good for him. Yeah. It keeps, and he's going to play second base. So it's a perfect situation for Arias. It doesn't burn any bridges with him. It keeps him in favor with the organization. If they're able to move Adames or Chapman or Devers in the offseason or today, then they could, potentially be in the running to sign him next year if they wanted to, because he does fit the ballpark well. He does. The fans really, really liked having him. So, there's an option there. Probably not going to happen. He'll go where the money is, and the Giants historically not willing to pay the most. So,
right.
So
and I feel like if they really wanted him, they would have seized on the opportunity by now to sign him for the extension. And then I know with this move being said too, that Bryce Harper now is going to move to the outfield for the Phillies. As Arias now goes to second base. Who do they have at first base now? With Harper moving to right? I'm trying to think.
They have let's see. Let me look at their.
I just remember that was like the first thing they pointed out because it's been about 4 years since Harper played either in the outfield or at least at right field where they'll be playing him. But I mean, would have loved for them to try to have signed an extension for Arias if they could have, but I know under the circumstances that it was bound to happen that him and Ray were both the players that were going to be moved for sure. Everything else was kind of like up in the air of like which one would be next.
Right. So now it's kind of icing on the cake. The two that we knew were going to move have been moved, and Malley being moved, I thought that was a surprise just because I wasn't sure if anyone was going to want him. But,
right. Yeah.
They got something for him anyway, which I think was good. But now there's more people that could be on the move. So we'll see who could be next. If it's a Brew Baker, if it's or someone big like
Adames.
Or Adames or Elliot Ramos.
I was seeing that on MLB Network, they were talking about that the Yankees were really interested in Ramos. And at first it looked like as if they were confirming that it was a go, that they were in talks of it. But I don't know, that was about 15 minutes ago when I saw that they were talking about that on the network. But thought that would have been that he would be the next one to go after Robbie Ray, after seeing that.
And he may be.
Yeah. Preferably though Chapman, but I think with the Giants just got another uh, bad luck with that, with him being injured right now.
Yeah, and it's still up in the air when he will play again. So because of that, he doesn't really even know the reason why it's lingering so long. His abdominal strain. Teams, if you're going to be in the playoff hunt, you don't want a guy that could be out another month or more. So if
Right.
Chapman's going to move, it's going to have to be something in the offseason. He comes back this year. He proves he's healthy. He finishes out the year strong. And
Yeah.
then in the offseason, they could work on finding a home for him that he will approve of. If they want to go that route, the Giants, we haven't seen them move one of these big guys yet. So until they do, it remains to be seen if they're even open to it, other than just listening.
Yeah, that's my hope for the offseason at least, is that with the last handful of games for the season, that Chapman, strikes lightning and like you said, looks healthy and fresh and good to go, and that someone will at least offer a good package for him in the offseason so we can get him off the board and just, get ready for Casey for next season playing at third.
Yep, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But at least, and then, if not, there's room at second for Casey if they want to go that route. Otherwise, they will have to find a second baseman that's ready. I don't think any of these younger guys they have are quite ready to move into that spot.
Do you think because of his injury, though, that's going to really more affect where they put him at? I know there's going to be a lot that could happen now between now and obviously spring training with whoever's playing well or.
Yeah. What, you mean Casey's injury?
Yeah, with the knee.
I think it's one of those things where it'll heal up fine. I don't think it's that serious. It wasn't an ACL or anything like that. It's just a meniscus, and it was the minor surgery where they just kind of shave off a little bit and clean it up.
Okay.
But
it is season
hopefully
ending,
he comes
though.
back good as ever. Say that again?
It is season ending, though.
Not necessarily. He's out 4 to 6 weeks, so he may come back with 2 weeks left, or they may just play it cautiously and let him take the extra time. And but it could very well be they have him come back and play the last couple of weeks of the season just to kind of, get back into things before the off season. So it really depends on how that that knee is progressing.
It's just another one that you hate to see. I was hoping that he would, of course, finish out the season like hot and everything, but he was just playing so well, and it's just another bummer. Another player that was just playing well for the team. One of the low highlights, or not too many that there are for this season, that's one of them, was Casey Schmidt. So.
Yep. Let's reload the feed here, see what we got coming in.
Jeff Passan, is he saying anything right now?
I don't think so. I have him on alert, so it pops up if he says anything.
Mm-hmm.
Pavlovich just saying the Robbie Ray trade is official.
Oh yeah, I put in the chat earlier, so because I got in about 10 minutes or so head out, because I'll go to work at the Phoenician. That's where the Padres are staying at right now. They checked in last night, and it was funny because I was like, I had the game on my phone when I started at work, and then later in the evening, probably around 8ish, is when they checked in. And
you're in Arizona, in Phoenix?
Yeah, I'm in Phoenix right here.
Okay, gotcha.
So from like where Dan's at, I'm probably about 20 minutes southeast from him.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's a little more he's a little more west, maybe like upper northwest from me. But yeah, where I work is in Scottsdale, and the Padres are staying there right now, and they're about to play the D-backs. But it was just funny just how from how soon the game ended, how quickly they got here, and now I wonder how soon Robbie Ray will see him over here now.
probably pretty fast. I mean, he
Yeah.
probably knew he was being traded. I don't know if he wanted to go back to the Bay Area, get some stuff before he goes to his new location. But it's a short flight, even from San Francisco to Phoenix. So
Someone was saying, I think on the MLB threads or whatnot, that he's probably not going to get traded because he was at the facility at the moment still. I'm like, well, that happens with all these players. They're always either in the clubhouse dugout when they get the news. Sometimes it could be on the bus or the shuttle or whatever. But
yeah, and Robbie Ray, just pitched a day ago. When did he pitch? 2 days ago?
A couple days ago.
Yeah, so he'll be a couple more days before he's ready to pitch again. So he's got a little time.
And I don't think the Padres face the Giants again this season, right?
They do face them one more time.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Yeah. Let me see when that is.
Yeah, I was thinking that it was probably the last time because I know it's not. They don't play these West or NL West opponents as much as they used to with the schedule.
The Giants play the Padres a 3-game series starting September 11th.
Okay.
So 11, 12, 13.
Gotcha.
So another month, 6 weeks until we see the Padres again. Maybe we'll see Ray pitching.
Potentially, yeah. Yeah, I think that Robbie Ray, it would have been nice to have had him still for a while, but again, something else I pointed out earlier before is just that, the Giants had opportunities in the past when they had Carlos Rodon and Blake Snell and held on to them when it was clear as daylight that they were not going to re-sign with the team. And
yeah, exactly. The Blake Snell one, that was just, I think it was just an attempt to keep Farhan's job. He wanted to hang on. He knew if the Giants finished under 500 and missed the playoffs that he was going to be out. And if you keep Blake Snell and you get hot at the right time, then you could make the playoffs and you keep your job. So to me, that's what it looked like. It looked like a guy, kind of a desperate attempt to try to hang on there, and didn't work out. So, and then of course he had pitched the no-hitter, right?
Yeah.
A couple of weeks before, a month before, maybe.
Yeah, it was before,
must have been
right?
in May. Must have been in May sometime. He pitched that no-hitter on that. Kind of got the fans really invested in Snell again after things were a little rocky with him at his start with the Giants. He kind of blamed the Giants for rushing him back and not healthy and stuff like that. Well,
I remember that. Yeah,
the Dodgers don't rush him back. They just go ahead, take your time. You pitch when you pitch.
We're already loading up on all these other players. You'll be fine.
Exactly. They don't really even need him, but they'll take him if he's healthy and pitching well.
Right.
So, yeah.
I think this was just kind of like, the third time's a charm, if you will, that they had the opportunity in front of them and they weren't going to miss it this time, knowing that Ray wouldn't have re-signed with them, just like the other two didn't come the offseason.
Okay, so this is interesting. The Giants have 2 openings in their rotation now that Ray and Malley have been traded. Hauser probably will get one of those.
Yeah.
They do have Tidwell and Tugboat in AAA, and Trent Harris has thrown well recently also. The issue is when you bring up one of these guys to the 40-man roster, they're not, if there's a lockout next year, you're not going to be able to work with those guys. They're not going to be able to play in the minor leagues. They're not going to be able to play in AAA because those games still go on, despite the fact that MLB will be locked out. And if you want those guys to continue to develop, you might not want to bring them up. But Jeff Young says that both Matt Wilkinson, Tugboat, and Trent Harris are eligible for the Rule 5 draft in the offseason. So if the team plans on protecting them, it's not uncommon for them to be called up before the deadline to get their feet wet. So that we may see those guys so they don't lose them in the Rule 5 draft, and and then they'll forego being able to work with them during the lockout. But it's not a given that they will be a lockout or a prolonged one. So
I remember you said the other night that Bill Lasky said that there will never be a salary cap or that the players will never go for it.
Yeah, he was pretty adamant about that. Now, I mean, he hasn't pitched in a long time, and he's not, he talks to a lot of players and stuff, and I'm sure he has some insights into what the union might, go in that direction. But yeah, he was pretty clear that they wouldn't accept. But of course, once you stop getting paid and you're just sitting around and you're getting older and that can change your perspective on that.
Right. And I know that the last time they were kind of like in this little position of talks before, what was it in recent years about potential lockout, or when it was like happening, I think that time during spring training, that the two players that were the most outspoken and that were not afraid to speak their mind about Rob Manfred was Garrett Cole and Bryce Harper. But that with Harper is where it actually got heated, and things went really south with that one. But I'm curious to see their thoughts now at this point, fast forward with potential lockout again this upcoming season, where the thoughts are now with it.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Let's reload here. See what's popping up. The Cubs got a reliever. Is that for John?
They got Gosman too, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Cubs got Gosman, yep.
Yep. Cubs acquired left-hander Braxton Garrett from Miami. They're just loading up on the pitching.
Yeah. Yeah, I read here on the TV Foul Territory, and they're talking about the Red Sox trade for Adley Rutschman on the Orioles. That was a good trade. I mean, I think that was someone that I thought would have been good for the Giants potentially in terms of an all-around catcher would work out. But he goes to the Red Sox.
All right. 66 cell phones gave us 1,000 joules. GOAT trophy. Thanks for the 1,000 joules. Don't know what a joule is, but appreciate it.
Me neither.
Better than no joules in my book. There is zero logic argument to keeping Logan Webb, who will be 30-31 when baseball next resumes, and all the mileage on that arm. They will have, if there's a lockout next year, they'll have him for just one more year. So at that point, they could then trade him at the deadline, and it would be similar. It would be better than what you would get with Robbie Ray, but not much more because he would still be a rental at that point. So if you were going to trade him, you could trade him now. You could trade him in the offseason. He still would have 2 years of control, or 1 year if you lose an entire year with a lockout, more likely a year and a half, something like that. So there's still a lot of clock left on Webb's current deal. Still a lot of value there, I think, because he is signed for a reasonable contract, kind of a team-friendly deal. I think he's getting $18 million or $20 million the last 2 years.
Yeah, and I told Dan I'm fine with keeping Webb until 2028. I know a lot of people are kind of at this point more keen on moving on from him, but
yeah, 23 million, 24 million for 27 and 28. So it ballooned up a little bit, but it more than what the average was for the deal. But I think it depends on what the offers are. Obviously, we're not in the room. We don't know what offers you're getting for Logan Webb. It would have to be substantially more than what you're getting for these other rental players, because he's not a rental. You have a full year plus however much of his 2027 season you get. So there's a lot more return on that particular trade. So it would be a big deal, a big trade, a blockbuster trade if that was going to be one that was to be made.
Right.
So
and I see him opposed to others that say if he goes to any other roster or any other rotation that he'd be a number 3 or number 4. I still see him as like a number 2 at most, or like at least average on any other rotation that he were to go to. Opposed to maybe the Dodgers. Outside of that, though, he's worth a bigger haul than, like you said, what a Robbie Ray would get you.
Sure.
So
Robbie Ray has been the Giants' number 2 starter, but on a good team, he's probably a middle of the rotation guy, number 3
at this point,
3 or 4. He's been good. Especially lately, he's been really good. So the Giants did well on what they got with him, but
yeah, in his D-backs game,
ballpark.
Yeah, in his D-back days, he was the number 1, number 2 all the time. Because I remember like his whole time out here, he was great. When he wasn't injured, but I'm fine for keeping Webb up until 2028. At least it also depends, of course, what happens within the next couple seasons. But let's say hypothetically, by that point of time, if the Giants are completely out of contention like they are right now, I'd be fine with just moving on from him at that point and just being like, all right, you got the best years of Logan Webb. Now you can get something for him, move on and see what you can get.
Yeah. And no matter what happens, the Giants need a pitching staff. They're going to have to spend some money anyway to get pitchers. And because right now they have 2 starting pitchers. The guys they've traded for today are all prospects, lower level guys. They're not going to slot right into the rotation. So, I mean, they're going to be filling the rotation now with Hauser, Tidwell. It'll be Webb, Roop, Hauser, Tidwell, and Wisenhunt is their 5 right now. You can't take those 5 into next year. You need 2 more guys, that are legit starters. And if you trade Webb, then you're even 1 less, so, legit starter is $25 million, $30 million. And, the Giants aren't going to be able to afford to sign too many of those guys. Especially, they're not going to want to go long term. So it's a little tough. You hope that maybe they can move somebody today and get a legit starter that has, it's a AAA starter that's ready to come up, or somebody that's a little bit more advanced than what they've gotten so far, which is A-ball, AA type guys.
True. And surprisingly, I mean, for how rough of a beginning of the month in April, or at least the first couple months for Logan Webb he still made the All-Star this year. So I feel like potentially even if he would have had a better record in ERA than he does now, that they might have even thought more about possibly moving on from him. But we'll see though. I think again, I'm fine with keeping him for a couple years, but a couple other guys like Heliot Ramos, at first I was thinking about would they want to move on from him or not, but he is from the system. So the Giants kind of got known for that when they won the championships, having predominantly farm system guys and a few, journeymen. This roster that they have now, though, is just completely like sporadic. It's not really anything organized. And I really do see that Buster has a vision, and we'll see more, I think, once we get into this offseason of what they're really going to do to deconstruct the rest of it, with possibly moving on from Chapman and maybe even in recent Willy Adames. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, at the current time with those big contracts, the infield is pretty locked up. You moved on from Arise, but you still have Devers, Chapman, Adames locking up 3 of the 4 infield positions. So, and now they'll be able to have second base. They can play around with people see what they've got in Basabe and whoever else they want to try there. I know Rodriguez just got hurt. But they do have Furman they just brought up. So they'll get a look at those guys, but the outfield is an area where they need to improve. It hasn't been good enough. You're going to have Lee likely unless you trade him, but between Ramos and Lee, you've got 2 of the things locked down. You're assuming that Harrison Bader does not play another game for the Giants.
I hope not.
Contract is null and void, and they move on. Seems likely at this point, just based on how they're spinning this. So that means you'll have, if you don't trade Lee or Ramos, you have one spot that you can determine what you have with some younger guys. I know that Jonah Cox is coming back. We have the Victor Barracoto. He looked good for a while. Now he's on the IL. But with Barracoto and Cox coming back, we can at least look at those guys to see, is there something there between Barracoto, Cox, and McRae the rest of this year, just to see, is there potential there? But and if there is, great. But if you move Ramos, then you have the potential to bring somebody else in, a bigger name or somebody that fits the archetype of what the Giants want to do as far as bat to ball skills, hitting for average, hitting for contact, putting the ball in play. And, you get a little bit, somebody who is maybe a little more slump proof than Ramos was, and Lee is actually. So improving the outfield should be one of the goals for the Giants in the offseason, and moving one of those spots is probably in the cards here. So we will see here. Let's see what's coming up.
Ramos played pretty good too since he's came back from his injury. So that was another thing that I thought might have kept his value up for potential suitor, and looking at it to like maybe the Yankees, like they said earlier. But I'm more about keeping your guys that you're bringing up right now, getting rid of these bad signings. Bader is number one, at least right now, right off the top. But I mean, Adames, Chapman, you would have liked to, out of all of them, kept Arya, but he wasn't going to probably re-sign here. And they did the smart thing. So, again, hopefully they can get rid of these other contracts at some point in time, at least before next season. Today was just a kind of idea of like what direction they're really heading in with what they're looking for in regards to prospects. So,
Alex Pavlovich tweets 30 seconds ago, Logan Webb starts tonight, but the Giants are TBD and TBD for the rest of this series. There's going to be a lot of that the next 2 months. Tristan Beck is in Texas. So whoop-de-doo. But they're gonna have to call up other guys to fill in. They do have Carson Seymour on the 40-man.
Right.
Anthony Molina they just traded for. He's on the 40-man. Going to be assigned to AAA right now. Spencer Bivens, Tristan Beck, Molina, Reaver San Martin, Carson Seymour, Blade Tidwell, Ryan Walker. Those are the guys on the 40 that are in the minor leagues right now that we will probably see coming up here at some point to fill in and eat some innings.
Yeah. Well, and they're going to have time later this year, or at least for the rest of the season, if you will, to try out all these other guys in the system. I mean, with these openings on the roster, with these trades now, you got to see what you have, and you got to rock with who's the most consistent. I mean, as of right now, the ones that stand out the most that you brought up is Eldridge and Schmidt. But unfortunately, you've had no pitching stand out really, other than Webb. And then Ray you had to get rid of because you knew he wasn't going to resign here. So,
McDonald's had flashes. Now he's on Tommy John. Roop has been inconsistent. Control problems every game. He has kind of a meltdown inning. His pitch count gets too high. He's been struggling. So he's a question mark.
See how Birdsong does when he comes back.
Yeah.
Or what they do with him.
It usually takes guys some time though to get back into it. And Birdsong was a question mark even when he was healthy before.
Right.
So no guarantee there. And then Wisenhunt, to me, he doesn't have the pitch repertoire. I mean, he is so dependent on the fastball and the changeup, and he just gets into that groove. He mixes in a slider occasionally, but not to much effect. So,
right.
he's been rocked a lot recently, and that may continue, and he might have to go down again and either work on improving his pitch selection and his pitch options and try and add another pitch to his bag of tricks, or convert him to a bullpen arm. And, with 2 pitches, you can get away in the bullpen, if you're just trying to go all out for 1 or 2 innings.
Yeah. I mean, ERA wise, I think Smith's been, as of recently or lately, the most consistent pitcher in the bullpen, but doesn't say really too much when you have one of the worst bullpens in the league. And it's another thing that they got to address. But this is a time in the season, the trade down, where it's like most of these moves at the deadline are relievers. So the Giants dealt one already. And aside from that, now they're bringing in more prospects and loading up for the upcoming seasons.
Absolutely. We're now at 54 viewers on YouTube. That's a little low, so we need to work on getting this show pushed out to the other folks on YouTube. So go ahead and hit the like button, everybody. Let me see how many likes we have.
I do got to head out here in a sec, Dallas, but
sure.
But no, I just again appreciate you guys for having me on as always, and very curious to see again what's going to happen here for the rest of this day. And I think there's all the afterwards, of course, coming up. The people that are the players that are still able to sign with another team after post deadline. I'm talking about, like the weeks following or a little bit after the trade deadline, how some players are still.
You used to be able to do like the waiver.
The waivers and
trades.
stuff. Yeah.
I haven't seen that much the last couple of years. I don't know if that's
what I was wondering, because I was thinking there was that possibility too that you see with some of these teams that post deadline still try to make some sort of smaller moves. A lot of utility players.
The old August waiver trade system was eliminated in 2019, creating a single hard trade deadline. While teams can still place players on outright waivers after the deadline, those waivers are irrevocable and cannot be used to facilitate trades. So yeah, this is it. You got to trade now or hold them for until the end of the season.
I think that's how the Giants got like Marco Scudero, for example, if I'm not mistaken, because I think it was after the deadline when he actually joined them. Post July 31st, but yeah. So I mean, wow. So yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, so I didn't know that, but good to know. All right, Dallas. I'm gonna head out of here. But
all right, thanks for filling in for Dan for a bit, and appreciate all your insight here.
Yeah, and everyone like and subscribe too, and have a good one, Dallas.
Yep, have a good day at work.
All right, appreciate you. Take care.
Yep. All right, there goes Nick. Make myself a little smaller there. Yeah, we have currently 44 likes on YouTube. I'm going to like it. I'm 45. So if anybody else wants to go ahead and hit that like button, get us up over 50, then we'll be cooking with gas at that point. Jeff Passon, the Houston Astros are finalizing a deal to acquire center fielder Dalton Varsho from the Toronto Blue Jays. So the Blue Jays, interesting. It has quieted down a little bit here, so we'll see if swing a ball for Dallas. I'll hit the like button if you let the kid Shardall sing on the show. Shardall, where are you? He was here earlier, but I haven't seen him this show. So if Shardall wants to sing, then he can come on and ask. I don't know. Swung that ball for. You've got a weird request there. Oh, he's kidding. Just kidding. Brewers to acquire Dustin May, Jojo Ramiro. Okay. I think that was earlier on. All right, guys, while we got a break in the action, I want to invite you all to check out our website. Where do you find it? Well, let's play a little clip for you.
We've got a website. Sign up now and get a text or email anytime we go live. Check out NorCalSportsNetwork.com.
So you go to NorCalSportsNetwork.com, create an account, and then anytime we go live, you'll get a message that says, NCSN going live now, and with the link to the YouTube, and you can just click the link and you'll be right in there. We also have a message board up there. We have polls that we will be running from time to time, and you can participate in that. You can sign up with your phone number and then interact with the site through the text messages. So you can call the phone number that we have. I'll put it on the screen here, and leave a voicemail on that. I can play your voicemail right here on the show. In fact, if someone wants to do that right now, give us your thoughts on the trade deadline so far, and I will play your voicemail. And so that could be fun. So website, NorCalSportsNetwork.com, and the phone number. That's how you can interact with the show easier. Or you just post it right here in the chat. I can see what people are posting. Like, Swung a Ball 4 says, I'll leave a voicemail for Dallas after I drink this 24-pack of Modelo's. Okay, that'll be a fun voicemail. I wonder if whenever Jeff Passan has explosive diarrhea, he thinks to himself, I just dropped a Passan bomb. I doubt he thinks that. All right, here. Let's see. We'll go back to the Bay Area reporters. Susan Slusser reports that Luis Ariz is gone, but Ron Washington's work goes on. He was just doing drills with Los Levis Basabi, who will see time at second and third base. Yeah, he's been good. He's got home runs in his last 2 games. He had a big double off of Mason Miller on a 102-mile-an-hour fastball. This is a kid that hasn't seen 102 too much, I imagine. So that was good to see. Yeah, I give him some run while Casey and Chapman are both hurt, and now Ariz is gone too. So there's some openings for people to get some work in the infield, and we can get a look at him. So that's fun. At this point, wins and losses doesn't really matter. It's about evaluating the people that we have and determining, what we got. And the more information we have going into next season, the better for sure. What assets do we have left to trade for? You want some more ready for primetime pitching. You're getting some really good prospects in the lower levels of the minor leagues. But you're going to need people that play next year, if there is a next year, and the year after. So they're getting pretty deep for 29, 30, but 27 and 28, they need some players that can slot in. So relievers that can come in next year, or that you can get a look at this year would be good, I think. And you need starting pitching that's ready to go. Now that's harder to get. Anybody who's good is probably they're using that pitcher, So if now you could go trade Elliot Ramos to a team that has an excess of pitching, like somebody in AAA that is ready to go, but they have a 5-man rotation that's pretty solid. They don't have room for him. That type of thing could be something they'd look at. Jung-Hoo Lee or Elliot Ramos Elliot Ramos probably more likely since he's on a much more team-friendly, controllable deal. They could get somebody back like that and improve the rotation immediately as opposed to guys that you have to wait several years for them to come up. So, but pitching, I mean, that's what they need. And then if you're going to go with a position player or an outfielder that, hits for average, gets on base, maybe steals a base, speed, defense, somebody that has some of those tools and less of the guy that hits 25 home runs like Elliot Ramos. But Elliot Ramos doesn't play good defense, and he's not super fast, and he's doesn't hit. He has hit for average, but not really this year. And he's. I go back to the defense. The kind of being a defensive liability in left field is a little reasons why you might want to move him. So yeah, that's what I would be looking for. Usually pitching. NCSTL, NorCal Sports Talk Live. I will be highly disappointed if they can't unload Ramos and Brubaker. Well, Ramos, they should be able to find a home for. And it's just a matter of if they feel what they're getting back is sufficient compensation for him. Brubaker, he's been okay. He's not been lights out. I think he's on $1 million contract that they would be paying $300,000 for. I guess you could even eat the $300,000 and try to get a prospect back. But what are you going to get? It's going to be some high A guy that has potential, but there's not going to be a huge return for Brubaker. And what teams are in contention that have really bad bullpens that to where Brubaker could improve it? I mean, he's kind of a long man. You put him in when you're ahead by a lot or behind by a lot. He's not been used in super high leverage situations. He's kind of a long man in the rotation. So, I don't know. They I'm sure they want to move Brubaker, but it's a matter of can you get something for him? And if you can, then go for it. I mean, he's just a 1 year deal. You look at other pitchers on the Giants rotation. Brubaker, Foley is on a 1 year deal, and he's healthy again, but I don't think that there's a big enough sample size that teams have gotten to look at him. He's been good in one outing and bad in another outing. So I don't know that there would be interest there. Sam Henches, I think, for teams that need a lefty experienced reliever, maybe you could move Sam Henches. Adrian Hauser has a year left on his deal. The Giants need somebody to pitch innings the rest of this year. They probably hang on to Hauser because unless they get an offer for him. If someone wants him, then sure. But because he has a tough time against left-handed hitters. I don't know if he'd be someone to move. A lot of people pushing to move Eric Miller. I think Eric Miller is a pretty good lefty in that bullpen. And I think the team likes him quite a bit. They need bullpen guys that can pitch now and next year and the year after. And so I think probably they hang on to Miller. Who else we got? Roop, they're probably hanging on to. Not much trade value because he's been inconsistent this year. Dylan Smith, he's looked pretty good this year. If someone inquired about him, of course you'd move him. And then we've talked about Webb and Wissenhunt, and Keaton Wynn is not tradable. So that's who they have that they could possibly move to make room for other people that could potentially be better in the future. Dallas, what do you think Buster will push after the deadline? I mean, I think he'll say he's disappointed in the team's performance this year, and they have to move forward and get better for the future. They're going to have added 3 top 10 prospects from other teams and improve the depth of their pitching. I'm sure he'll say that, from a position player standpoint, they're pretty stacked in the minor leagues. And now they need the pitching to match so that they have a full cabinet as far as bullpen. I mean, as far as the minor league system goes of guys coming up, and that'll be the narrative. I think probably he's already done enough right now to, with what he got from Arise and Ray, to get a pretty good grade. But I don't think he's done. I think there's going to be some more moves here. This team has been atrocious. They're now, as of today, the worst they've been all season. Giants record is 47-65. That's 18 games under 500, and 22 back of the Dodgers. So, there's just no excuse for a team performing that bad. That's why you need to make broader sweeping changes with the bigger contracts on the team. You need to change the chemistry of the team, the overall chemistry, the makeup of this team. Trading a couple pitchers and a 1-year second baseman doesn't change the DNA of a team from being a team that's not clutch and can't win games to a winner. So there's got to be more to this. There's got to be more that moves the needle here. So that's what I expect. Henches and Foley are both arbitration eligible since they aren't free agents. Could be non-tenders. Yeah, I didn't know Henches was arbitration eligible. I thought they signed him. Sam Henches. Contract. Interesting, yeah. So they signed him $1.4 million. He's under team control next year for the 3rd year of arbitration. So, and Foley too, huh? Jason Foley, correct. $2 million this year, and he's under arbitration the next 2 years. So, those guys will probably be sticking around next year. They could be non-tenders. I don't know if they were blown away by Henches, especially if Miller is pitching better. But having some good lefties in the bullpen is important. So it just depends on what's out there in the free agent market, I would assume. We've got yes, the guy in the Malley deal is a guy Braves were probably going to DFA to make room, 40-man room for Malley. Yeah, I think the Giants probably liked him. He was probably obviously the lowest rung of the guys that they've gotten in deals. I mean, you had to get something for Malley, but it wasn't going to be much. Obviously, he's been good the last couple of starts, but overall, he's got a 5 ERA, if I can remember correctly. Not the type of guy that's going to fetch a whole lot in return. So to get something for him, I think is fine. I wasn't expecting much on the Malley trade. Got a couple guys with Drew Gilbert. They're tired of Drew Gilbert. The fact that he can't hit left-handed pitching kind of makes him a liability. I mean, just to be able to not hit it at all, it kind of makes it so teams can take advantage of that. He's got energy, that's not a tool though. He can get on base against a right-hander. He doesn't really steal bases. His defense is okay, but I think Jonah Cox is better. I think he's probably, is he a better outfielder than Jung-Hoo Lee? Probably in the same department, same range. So maybe I don't know if he's a better center fielder than Jung-Hoo Lee, honestly. They're both fine. Yeah, I've never been the biggest Drew Gilbert fan. But they sure have given him some run this year. The Giants have been guilty of bringing guys up and then not giving them a fair crack, sitting them on the bench a lot. Because of his relationship with Vitello, he has got a lot of at bats, a lot of starts, a lot of reps this year, and probably more than he deserved. So we'll have to see how long they stick with the Gilbert experiment. Something just popped up here. Let's see. Tristan Beck and Carson Seymour have lockers in Texas. So looks like they're going to be moved onto the 26-man roster and will fill out that pitching staff, the holes that were vacated by Malley and Ray. And then we'll see what else comes up here as and so does Reaver San Martin. So all guys that were in Sacramento are being called up to the 26-man roster and will be on the major league field tonight, it looks like. So that's Beck, San Martin, and Seymour. That leaves Ryan Walker, Tidwell, Bivens in the minors. So they have 6 minor league pitchers on the 40-man roster, 3 of them coming up tonight. 7. 1, 2. Oh, Molina, who they just traded for, is the 7th. So expect to see those guys. Buddy Kennedy also being called up. They just re-signed him off of waivers. And just knowing that they were going to need somebody to play second base with second base, third base with Schmidt and Chapman and Arise being gone. So they're definitely there's 4 new people that are going to be on the roster tonight that were not there yesterday. So moves happening, things moving around here. What else do we have? They could also have other people on the taxi squad just to give flexibility in case other deals happen so that they can fill in. Let's see what's going on here. McRae can't hit, but can he hit better than Gilbert? That I don't know. He can steal a base. He does have a great arm in the outfield. Plus arm. I think he threw one at 102 miles an hour to nail a guy last year. But it's always the offense is the question mark for McRae. Can he produce at a major league level? And we don't know. So he will get some run in the outfield here the rest of the way. And maybe even more run if there's another trade that happens. So we are now at 1:30. We are 1 hour and we're 90 minutes away from the trade deadline, and might be a couple more sneaking in after the timer because I guess there's a phone system that's queued, and people could, be on hold waiting to finalize the trade when that happens. No reason to wait till the last moment, though. Let's just get things going here so we have something to talk about. We do have 650 people watching, 600 on X. Hey, all X people. Leave a comment on X. I can get comments on X. I don't ever see them on here, but that is possible. So let's hear from you on X. And the 50 people that are in the YouTube chat, I'm going to ask you once again to like this particular stream. There is a lot of trade talk out there. A lot of people doing trade coverage. I see like 5 or 6 of them on my feed right now. So if you hit the like button, 55 likes so far. If you hit that like button, it'll spit us out to more people, and we can get some more bodies in here. Let me check the comments on the website. No one's commented on there. If you do have comments on the website, we have a phone number that you can call, leave us a voicemail, or text the number, and we will read your comment right here on the show. What's that phone number? Here it is. Let's get rid of McRae Can't Hit, and we will play the video.
Care to comment? Leave us a voicemail or text message. Call or text 415-855-2455. That's 415 Eldridge, Timmy, Willie, Timmy.
All right, let's quiz you on it. What are the players? Bryce Eldridge, Timmy, Willie, Timmy. 855 for Timmy. Willie Mays 2455. So that's how you remember it. It's that easy. 415-855-2455. If you're not a fan of Bryce Eldridge, I don't know why you wouldn't be, but you can do 100 pence for the 8 if you like. But the 55 and the 24, those numbers aren't going anywhere. So call, text. I can rest my voice for a minute. If you leave a voicemail, then I can play the voicemail on here. And that would help also. All right, let's turn that off. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll put that up for a couple of minutes. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Dan had to run to an appointment. It's an hour-long appointment. He's going to be driving over there and then driving back, and then he'll be right back on. So you got me for a little bit longer, and then you'll get Dan. And of course, the trades wait for Dan. We just have to twiddle our thumbs here and reload the page, and then when Dan comes back, then the dominoes will really start to fall. So let's see what we got here. Blade Tidwell, Tristan Beck, Reaver San Martin, Carson Seymour, and Buddy Kennedy all have lockers in Arlington. Pretty big taxi squad as Giants wait for the dust to settle. So I guess these are taxi squad guys that have a locker. They may not be on the roster tonight. I don't think Blade Tidwell was mentioned before, so that's a new one, I believe, from Alex Pavlovich that he posted. So any of those guys could be on the roster tonight. We will see. It definitely one of the bullpen arms, either Beck or San Martin or Seymour, because they moved Killian. They need an arm for someone for him, and then with Ray and Malley, they're not starting tonight. They wouldn't pitch tonight, so you probably don't need to make any moves there, and you can wait and see what happens with the trades that continue to come down. So let's see what we got coming up here. One moment, guys. I'm going to let the dog out. I'm going to put you on pause here for 1 second. I will play a little background music here. And what do we got to play? Here we go. That's a trombone. All right, one moment, guys. All right, I'm back. I need to get my headphones to work again. 1 second. All right, let's check the Twitter line here. All right, nothing's happened. We didn't miss anything. Ice and X wants the X people to come over to Twitter or to come over to YouTube. You can do that. Just go to NorCal Sports Network on YouTube and you can join us in the chat here. Denning, would Arise be signed by anyone before the MLB strike next year, or is he going to be hanging around? who and when we sign him. So I think the lockout starts in December. December 31st is the last day of the old collective bargaining agreement. So it is possible for him to sign a deal after the season in November or December. Sometimes deals get done around the winter meetings type thing, which I believe is in December. But it could be he goes into the lockout without a contract. It really depends. It'll be interesting to see the market for Arraez. In recent years, people haven't appreciated him really. He's obviously won 3 batting titles. He hits for average, but because he doesn't hit for power, people seem to think that he's not worth it. And because he was not viewed as a plus defender, that also hurt him. Now he will be viewed as a plus defender. And of course, if he contributes to the success of the Phillies into this postseason, then he'll probably have carved out a pretty good market for himself. And so we'll see what that bears out. But interesting offseason for him because he has worked hard to improve his defense and make himself a better, more valuable player. And he'll probably get paid for that substantially. We will see. Will Bader be DFA'd and released, or the Giants responsible for his contract? I think the Giants are going to try to get out of paying for his contract. Now, they're responsible for his contract for this year because he had the plantar fasciitis before the injury, but because of his shenanigans, and of course I don't have the contract, I don't know the language of the contract, but there may be some language in that contract that says that if you do stupid things and injure yourself, then they're not going to be responsible for it. So the lawyers will have to look at it, see what is possible. But the Giants have come out and said that they're not going to pay him until he returns to baseball activities. And we haven't really got firm reports on the extent of the injuries, things that have leaked out, things that, you hear, through secondhand, third hand, that the injury to his foot is very bad, to the point where it might take him all the way through next season, in which case he will have played his last game for the Giants. So how much the Giants are going to have to pay him of the $10 million they owe him for next year and the $3 million they owe him for this year remains to be seen, but and the lawyers will work that out. But I think the Giants are going to do their best to not pay any of it and wash their hands of him. So unfortunate situation all around. I think if anybody on the Giants or Harrison Bader himself could go back and do that differently, they would. Bad situation. Ironic how Phillies fans were upset they didn't sign Bader. He was liked here. Yeah. And there was talk of maybe that the Phillies would sign Bader from, trade for Bader from the Giants because they really liked him there. And of course, Bader was injured, so that ended up not looking likely. And then he got really injured, and now it's not going to happen. Yeah. The whole Bader thing is unfortunate. What's your opinion on Ramos? Do you think he can improve all around? Ramos is still a young guy. How old is he? 25? He is 26. At 26, you're starting to get to the point where, and you've been in the major leagues for 4 years now. How long has he been around? Let's see. He came up in 2022, had 20 at-bats, 2023, 56 at-bats, and then he was full-time left fielder in 2024. So this is his third season as the full-time left fielder. He did make an all-star appearance in 2024, his first year. And 2024 was his best year. Room for improvement. I mean, I think that you could get 25 home runs out of him. He was injured this year, so that set him back. He has, what does he have here? 9 home runs this year, 21 last year, 22 the year before. So I think he can improve to 25 home runs in that area. His defense was atrocious last year. It has improved this year. And how much more? What's the ceiling on his defense? From what I've heard, he's a hard worker. He works at it all the time. There's probably a limit to what he can achieve defensively, but I think he can get to the point where he's not a defensive liability. So that works in his favor. But, he's thrown guys out at the plate. He's got, I wouldn't say it's a plus arm, but it's not below average. It's probably an average left fielder's arm. He's not stealing bases. Average wise, he's hitting 264 this year, which is right around his career average of 257. It's going to be about what you get. I don't know. I think maybe this is who Elliot Ramos is. He's a pretty good outfielder, all around left fielder. Is he the best on a team? Is he going to carry a team? Is he a superstar? No. Could he be an all-star again? Maybe, if he has a great year. But I think what you're getting this year is probably more or less what you're going to get. So I think that's why they're talking about trading Ramos, because this is probably who he is at this point, if you had to ask me. So can he improve? Sure, he can improve, but I don't know that you're going to get that much improvement over his current production. So I think that's why he's in the cards for somebody that they could move and try to take someone that is good in the outfield and find somebody else that's great in the outfield and maybe bring some more tools to the table. More likes than watching. Oh, did we get the likes up to where we wanted them? That's good, I guess, or maybe we need more people watching. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, 61 likes, 52 watching. So appreciate everybody who liked. And if you haven't liked yet, go ahead and push that like button. If you're over one of the 623 people on X, you can come over to YouTube and hang out in the chat here and chat with everybody and contribute to the show. I do need people to send some comments and I can pull them up here and we can chat about things, because we're at the calm before the storm at this moment. The moves aren't happening super fast right now. I do see the Pirates acquiring Luke Weaver, clubs to acquire Clay Holmes, Tyrone Taylor from the Mets for Jefferson Rojas. So there's a couple things happening, but the Giants, it's been over an hour and no news. The Tampa Bay Rays are acquiring right-handed reliever Tyler Wells from the Baltimore Orioles, sources tell ESPN. I don't think Jeff Passan actually controls his Twitter, because he has tweets that happen like 27 seconds apart that are reporting big stories. And I think that it would be impossible to tweet that fast. So I think he himself is an organization that's putting things out. Sean Notaro. Is Vitello the guy you send into battle to lead? I do think that we haven't seen the real Tony Vitello this year. He's been getting his feet wet. He's been getting disrespected by a lot of umpires. He's been getting disrespected by players on his own team. And he's having to work into a position where he has earned the respect of his team players and the umpires in baseball in general. And I don't think it's been easy for him to make the transition. And but as far as leading guys into battle, the jury's still out, I think. I think once a team can get on a roll, and he might be able to lead a winning team, but we haven't seen it yet. So I believe he will get another year, and I don't think there's any danger of him not being brought back next year. A lot of people on talk radio, 95.7 KMBR, is he going to come back? Is he, they a lot of gloom and doom about Vitello. I think you don't hire a guy, give him no bullpen, and then fire him after a year and call it his fault. The pitching has been atrocious this year. Malley and Hauser were hired for $11 million apiece to be the back end of that rotation, and they did not get the job done for the majority of the year. Roop's been inconsistent, so you've had Robbie Ray and Logan Webb and a bunch of nobody relievers that have no track experience. You had hope in Ryan Walker, and that hope went up in smoke right away. I don't know that he ever even had many good games where he closed. And they've lost so many games in the late innings. So I don't think he had a fair shake this year, and it would be insane to fire him and move on to somebody else when he didn't have a fair shot. So I think he's learned a lot this year, a massive amount, trial by fire, getting experience in the big leagues. And I believe that going into next year, there'll be a lot less question marks initially, and maybe he can work into a place where he has more comfortability in the management role. So I say give him another year, give him another shot, and hopefully it goes better in year two. If there is a year two, it might end up being the 28th season. We will see how much baseball that we play next year. Danang, we should get rid of one of the big three contracts. Buster, we give you permission to throw in cash. Do it, brother. Of course. We should see that. Here, let's see this. The Padres' top international prospect, Joniel Hernandez, over the last 30 days. 84 plate appearances, 279 batting average, 417 on-base percentage, 946 OPS, 17% walks, 20% strikeouts, 6 doubles, 3 home runs. 3 of his 4 home runs have come in his last 84 out of 173 plate appearances in the Dominican Summer League, and he's a must-watch name in their system. So this was posted on the 28th. Somebody posted a video of him hitting down in the Dominican Republic. And, kid with potential. So good to see. Sean Notaro, Walker should be DFA'd. So disappointing. You don't want to DFA a guy that has potential. In 2 years ago in 24, he was really good. He can't, once a guy has been good, they can get back to that. So if you DFA him, the Brewers pick him up and they turn him into a lockdown closer with their the ability they are able to work with pitchers and turn them around. So that's the reason why I don't want to DFA him, because someone else is going to find gold. Now, does that mean the Giants are going to get him back to form? If that's the case, but you don't want to see him go somewhere else. So as long as he's in AAA and working on his stuff and working to get back to, maybe he figures something out, something clicks. You get a new pitching coach that you're working with that has a new strategy and is able to, do more with what he's got. So I hold out hope, but quit trying to force the issue. He can't have 3 games in AAA that are good and then you bring him back up and throw him in the 9th inning. You can't do that anymore. We have a new member, Nancy Kuska. Nancy, how do you pronounce your last name? Welcome to NorCal Sports Network. Appreciate you being a member. And anybody else that wants to be a member, you can go to our website, NorCalSportsNetwork.com, sign up. Membership is free there. And we will have paid memberships later on that we can have some perks and things. But for now, you just sign up there and you can participate in polls, the chat board, and comment on the show here. And we can play your comments, voicemails, comments right here on the show. Speaking of which, let me reload here and see if anybody has posted anything on there. Nope, nothing's come in, so we're good there. Susan Slusser retweeting Ken Rosenthal. This is the news that we were looking for. We have the Yankees are working on a trade for the Giants' Elliot Ramos. Sources tell the Athletic 34 seconds ago. So there is a trade in the works for Elliot Ramos from the Yankees. He might be going to the Pinstripes. So nothing official yet. Michael. Somebody else saying that Keaton Wynn and Eric Miller are possibly going to be on the move too, possibly in the same trade. So we will stay tuned on that. Could be a big deal. Giants need better pitching coaches. I don't disagree. Justin Message, I haven't been the biggest fan of his this year. When he decides to just in-game management, when to make a mound visit, when to slow things down, when things are getting out of hand, when to come in and try and, talk to the guy and give him a little breather. And sometimes the guys just get hung out to dry, and then the game gets out of hand before they even come in and try and slow things down or disrupt the timing of the opposition. There's strategy to baseball, and when to make a mound visit and when to, when a guy needs a breather. And I don't think that Message has that figured out. And probably Vitella doesn't either, because he's probably him that says, hey, go out and talk to him. And that doesn't happen. So areas for improvement. But there's also areas for improvement in just the development system the Giants have. If Kyle Harrison, you can't figure him out, and, he struggles for the Giants as a starter, then he goes traded to the White Sox, then to Milwaukee, and they can figure him out and turn him into, he almost made the All-Star team this year. So, they need to be able to do that, especially when you have they traded for a bunch of prospects today. You want to be able to turn these guys into the best possible versions of themselves. And I don't know that the Giants staff currently has that ability. So adding to the coaching staff in the offseason, the AAA level, AA level, you want to turn yourself into a pitching factory. Take guys that other teams might have lost faith in, turn them into good pitchers. And being able to figure that out and have that ability, the Giants do not do, but they need to learn that skill, because then you can turn coal into diamonds or whatever. It's a special thing to be able to do that. Sean says 1 more hour left till the trade deadline. That's right. It's now 2:00. We've got 1 hour. So the dominoes should start falling here. Got to make sure my feed is up to date. Good. Nancy does not want to get rid of Jung-Hoo Lee. There's a lot of fans that agree with you, Nancy. Lee has had a season where he was very, very good for a couple of months and underwhelming for a couple of months, and that has been his Giants career so far. So, boy, when he's on, he's got such potential, but when he's off, it's a lot of grounding out to second base, and it gets old. So it would be great if he could be more consistent. It would be great if he could add stealing bases to his game. He's got speed. He just has no desire to steal bases and no natural ability to get a jump. And the Giants should be coaching that into him, and they are not. They're terrible at working with players on stealing bases and adding that element to their game. And boy, Jung-Hoo Lee could take his game to the next level if he was annoying on the base pass. If he got on first base and then he was getting in the pitcher's head, forcing him to look over there, forcing him to worry about him stealing, and turning singles, which he hits a lot of singles, into doubles. You can turn it into a free double just by stealing a base. I'm going to switch earphones here because one is running out of batteries. Where are the Jung Hooligans? They've been around all year. Yep, I just said that, Jeremy. It's happening right now. I haven't seen anything official yet. Susan Slusser says, as I've reported for a week plus, the Yankees have been following Ramos diligently. Yes, she has said that quite a bit. There's been a lot of Yankee scouts watching Ramos for even the past month, I think. MLB trade rumors say Yankees working to acquire Elliot Ramos. More to come, ... Yes, it's in the works right now. Nothing has happened. Elliot hasn't been moved, but it looks like a trade is imminent. Orange and Black Media, I don't know about this source. I do see Larry Krueger retweeting him, so maybe there's something to him, but he says Logan Webb trade talks have begun to heat up. The Giants have said that they don't want to trade Webb, but multiple teams have reached out, and he could get moved if the Giants received an offer that they just can't refuse. Well, of course, that's not saying much. Obviously, you say you don't want to trade Webb, you're going to listen to any offer just because why not? And if the offer is good enough, you have to consider that. So it's not going out on a limb there. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants attach Adames to that. Which trade is that, Jeremy? Is that the Yankees trade? Nancy, I agree. He's not focused on the field. Vitello defended him when Apple TV reported that he was not working with Ron Washington on his defense because he's hurt, and he can't really practice because his back is hurt. I don't know. I just, with all the defensive missteps this year, the bad decisions, not stepping on second base for the double play, countless errors, dropping the ball. How many errors has he had this season? Someone can look it up. I'm not going to bother, but he's not been good defensively, and he needs to get better, or he needs to start playing second base. I mean, what else is there? So anyway, they could move Adames. They should. I don't think it's going to happen because that's just an expensive contract. But there's some teams that money is less of an object, and the Yankees are one of them. So, yeah, like Sammy says, probably not going to happen. You can't DFA the big guys. Just they're all on 5, 6, 7 year deals. So nobody, it would be, you can't just say, oh, $200 million, Rafi Devers, we'll just eat that. No one would eat that. It would be malfeasance, malpractice. It just wouldn't happen. It doesn't happen. So they have value. You can trade them. You can even pay part of their contract to make the trade more appealing, but there's no DFAing them. Because you got to pay them anyway. And they do have some amount of production and value. So it's just not going to happen. And I see so many people say that, and it's just not in the cards. Hauser might just start and eat up innings if Webb gets traded. Yeah, I don't see Webb getting traded. You got to start. You have a pitching rotation. The Giants are going to play baseball next year, probably at some point. They're going to play in 2028. You need a bedrock of a rotation because the Giants are going to want to compete. So if you trade Webb, you're starting from absolute scratch, and you got to get 4 pitchers to fill into that rotation. 4 good pitchers. The Giants couldn't even fill in 2 pitchers last year. So how are you going to get 4? So they probably keep Webb as the foundation of the rotation. And then if they can trade Adames or Chapman or Devers, you free up money to get a couple of more arms, like legit starters. And then you have a chance, to get into the wild card at that point. But we've tried the Band-Aid thing, filling in with journeyman pitchers that on reasonable 1-year contracts. Didn't work this year. I don't think it would work again next year. So you got to go bigger with the rotation, and you got to get together a bullpen that can be competitive. The type of bullpen that has the attitude going into it. No one's going to score a run on us. We are going to shut this down. And the Giants don't have that. The Giants bullpen this year, they go into a game figuring out how not to give it up, as opposed to having the mindset that, it's not going to happen. Right now it's like, what's going to happen today? How's it going to happen? So big pitching problems for the Giants into the future. All right, let's load the new notifications here. Nothing yet. Oh, Jeff Passan, new tweet. The New York Yankees are finalizing a deal to acquire outfielder Elliot Ramos from the San Francisco Giants, sources tell ESPN. Yankees have been seeking right-handed bats, and if the deal clears medicals, Ramos will provide it. Ken Rosenthal first linked Ramos to New York. So now we just looks like it's going to happen. It's just a matter of seeing what the return is going to be, and if the trade gets finalized here in the final 49 minutes before the trade deadline. Rays to acquire Tyler Wells. Yankees working to acquire Elliot Ramos. Still in the working phase, but it looks like another big trade is going to happen here. Let's see what Alex Pavlovich is saying. Oh, he just repeated Jeff Passan. Okay. Things are in the works, everybody. Get ready. Tristan says Joey Bart to the White Sox. Interesting. Okay, we're waiting. We're waiting for word on what the deal is. Come on. Jeff Young says Yankee Stadium would be a nice fit for Elliot Ramos' opposite field power. To his credit, he has looked better defensively in 2026. Still not great, but a major improvement over last year. Yes, he has been better this year. He's not winning the Gold Glove anytime soon, but he hasn't been the complete liability that he was in previous years. RKS now, trading Ramos is a mistake. Shake my head. Depends on what you get for him. You know, if it's a haul, then is it a mistake? We've seen what Elliot Ramos can do. He is under team control for the foreseeable future, but he starts to get more expensive right now. He's going into arbitration. He's going to be making $8 million, $9 million, $10 million going forward. And, it doesn't get any cheaper at this point. So you can, what you have in Ramos, maybe you can trade him and try and improve your outfield, because your infield's stuck at the moment. You can't improve the infield. You can get a second baseman, and Casey Schmidt, can go back to being a super utility. I don't think that really improves the team. The outfield, if you move Ramos, you keep Lee because for whatever reason, if that's marketing reasons, or you think that his ceiling is higher, then you've got two spots that you can improve there. You will get a good look at all of the young outfielders they have, with Barracoto, McRae, Jonah Cox, and possibly Bo Davidson, and then get a good look at those guys the rest of this year, and then going into next year, you can figure out if you have two holes in the outfield to fill, or just one. Devers, Chapman, Adama is still on the team. Bad. Oh, we have some details, it looks like. Let's see what we got. Oh, we have Ramos just said, I'm a Yankee. I just found out. Susan Slusser just talked to Ramos, and Ramos said, I'm a Yankee. I just found out right now. So Elliot Ramos has been traded to the Yankees. The question is, for what? Waiting to hear terms on this. And now we are 45 minutes from the trade deadline. The Giants might be challenged in replacing Elliot Ramos's power. However, his chase rate has spiked, leading to a low .304 on base percentage. They should be able to improve upon that with the options they have. So reasons why they made the trade. We will see what they get back. differences in opinion about what Elliott just said, but for sure he said, I just found out right now. So there might be some equivocation about what he said, but I don't know. I just found out right now sounds pretty much like he found out that he got traded. Maybe he found out they were talking about trading him. Macho Grande says Yankees don't have a good farm unless you go to the very top of the farm. That may be where the Giants are targeting. If they're looking for a starter that's in AAA that could come up and potentially fill into the rotation right away, I think that's an area that they have need. So that could be what they're going for. They have added a lot of depth pieces for the lower levels of the farm system. But could be that they need somebody that's more ready to go. And trading, you can't trade a pitcher and get that. You got to trade a bat. And Ramos is going to be the biggest bat they trade, I think, other than Arise. All right. What do we got? We got Dan coming back. Hey, Dan. Can you hear me? Dan appears to be putting the sunscreen on his car or rolling it up. Hey, Dan. Can you hear me? All right. Ken Rosenthal just tweets, the Giants are close to acquiring Marcelo Meyer from the Red Sox for reliever Eric Miller. Marcelo Meyer is second base, third base, shortstop, can play anywhere in the infield. He, for Boston, has played 70 games this year. 220 average. Not much pop. Interesting. Hey, Dan, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I just see Ramos got dealt, huh?
Ramos is dealt. The teams are finalizing the trade. It's believed the Giants will get left-hander Henry Lillane as the main prospect in the swap.
Okay.
Henry Lillane is he's pitched for high A and high A this year. He's got a 2.77 earned run average. He's pitched in 16 games, 78 innings. He struck out 98 hitters in 78 innings and walked just like 26. So he's got a 1.0 whip.
Looks like they're going after guys with high K rates, that guys can get more swing and miss, huh?
Yep, it does look like that.
And
it also looks like the Giants are getting a reliever or getting a third baseman, Marcelo Mayer from the Red Sox for Eric Miller.
Wow. What a deal that is.
They're close to it. It's not finalized yet. That's Ken Rosenthal, though.
That's quite a bit of haul for Eric Miller. I love it. Marcelo Mayer can play shortstop. I'm telling you, I think Adames still might go in the last, what do we got, 40 minutes to go.
Possible.
Wow. I'll be back home in about 10 minutes so I can get back into the studio. But very nice. Marcelo Mayer was check out the open up the MLB draft for, I want to say 21 or 22. Marcelo Mayer was the 4th overall pick.
Yes. He was the 4th overall pick for the Red Sox in 2021.
21, yeah. 4th overall pick, though, so that's a high schooler that might just be the shortstop. Is he on the IL right now, or is he playing somewhere?
He is on the 10-day IL, but he has been playing for the Red Sox on the big league team.
He's I think he's your shortstop if they can move Adames. We don't need any third baseman, that's for sure.
No, but you do. He can play second base too.
I don't even know if we need a second baseman if Casey's going to be the second baseman next year, if Chapman's here.
If Chapman's here, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that if you're going to move, if they're planning to move Adames and or Chapman, then that makes a lot of sense.
Well, that would be sweet. Move Chapman and Adames and just go young everywhere you can.
And Marcelo Mayer is in pre-arbitration. They have him for 5 more years of control.
Wow, that's right. He signed a no, he's not. He didn't sign the deal. It was Kristen Campbell that signed a 7 or 8 year deal. The second baseman who's been in the minors all year, but they didn't sign. Mayer didn't take a deal. That's right. 5 years of Mayer. I like that deal. Yes, I'm loving what's happening right now.
All right, let me load up here and see what we got. Jeff Passan just tweeted right now. Let me pull it up. The Boston Red Sox are finalizing a trade to acquire left-handed reliever Eric Miller from the San Francisco Giants for infielder Marcelo Mayer. Deal is still in medicals.
Okay. Well, Miller should pass. He pitched the other day or so. I'm assuming Mayer's not damaged goods at his young. Isn't Mayer like 22 years old?
He is
maybe 23 at the most.
He's 23.
Yeah.
He'll be 24 in December.
Okay. You know, Larry Krueger had a rise going to Boston for Mayer.
I did hear that, yeah.
In one of his deals. Him and I were talking the other night. We were discussing guys. He says, "Who do you like on Boston?" I said, he said, "How about that Mayer kid?" I said, "Oh, I'd love to have that kid." So, Yeah. Mayer is, there's potential there. Anytime you're the fourth pick in the draft, doesn't mean guarantee you success, but.
Gravy, are you having trouble hearing Dan? I hear Dan just fine. So let me know if there's any audio issues. But I'm hearing you, Dan.
Okay.
That might have been from earlier.
Yeah, I had a little scratchy area there, and well, we got 34 minutes to go. So we've had our over 5. Have we had 6 guys be traded yet? Bali, Ray, Killian 3. Mally, Ray, Killian 3. Ramos 4. Miller 5. Has there been a 6th yet?
Arise, Ray, Ramos, Miller, Mally, Killian, 6.
6. Let's get to 10. I think we can get to 10. Brubaker, Adamas, that's 8. Brubaker, Adamas. What else can we do?
The Giants will, for Ramos, they will also get infield prospect Caden Kent.
Is that Jeff Kent's son? That is Jeff Kent's son. They got Jeff Kent's son.
He is currently
That's pretty cool.
in high A ball in the Yankees system.
Wow.
Hitting 302.
Pulling into the neighborhood. Can't tell everybody where I live.
Yeah, the fans.
I'm not showing you you can't dox me. All right. That's pretty wild. They got Jeff Kent's son. I just heard Jeff Kent in his Hall of Fame speech talking about him being a Yankee. All right. All right. We're pulling in here to the garage. Turn this off, and I'll be back with you guys shortly.
All right, we'll be here. All right, we've just got over 30 minutes until the trade deadline. It's 2:29 in the West, and coming down to the wire here. Will there be any other moves besides Ramos and Eric Miller? Let's see what we got. All right, still waiting for more notifications to pop up here. Still waiting on the finals here for the Eric Miller trade and the Eric Miller trade is not final yet.
Hey, kick me out of this stream, Dallas.
Kick me out of this one. It's on my phone. I'll be right into the. I'm in the studio,
All right.
so.
All right, he's gone. Dan will be right back in here. There he is.
All right. Back.
And that's right. Joey Bart is now a White Sox.
Joey Bart. Gregorio says, hope that Ramos trade is nixed. Doesn't sound like it.
All right, Dan, I'm going to leave you for a minute. I'm going to go let the dogs in.
Who let the dogs in? All right. Yeah, I am a Ramos fan. Do love Ramos, but it's they're trying to get younger, get pitching. Let's see if we can pull up some of the deals here. I will try to pull up the information on the Yankees. Let me see if I've got pull this up real quick, guys, and give you a report on the Yankees prospect. Griffin Foster from the Nationals going to the Guardians. Wow, trades are happening. Okay, Henry Lalane is the 5th ranked prospect for the Yankees. Henry Lalane has got a fastball of a 60, which is nice, a slider 50, changeup 60, control 50, overall 50. The son of former St. Francis and European pro basketball forward with the same name. Lalane was born in the Bronx, moved to his father's native Dominican Republic as a youth, and played outfield before shifting to the mound at age 14. Signed for the largest bonus, $350,000, given to a pitcher in the Yankees' 21 international class. He ranked as the best pitching prospect in the rookie-level Florida Complex League during his 23 U.S. debut and starred in a spring breakout game the following March. After working just 31 2/3 innings with diminished stuff in the 2 seasons afterward because of shoulder issues that required surgery in the 24-25 offseason, he has returned this year better than ever. Lalane's fastball sat at 91-92 in 24-25, but now parks at 94 and topping out at 98 this season with improved arm side run and carry. He does a nice job killing spin on a low 80s changeup with fade and depth, and he's landing it in the strike zone more often. His slider has improved from a mid-70s slurve to a 78 to 82 mile per hour sweeper. Another tall dude, the 6'7" Lalane inherited size and athleticism from his dad, allowing him to create natural extension in his delivery. Now that he's healthy, he's back to providing consistent strikeout. His resurgence has been one of the best stories in New York's system this season. There we go. Henry Lalane. That's some good grades, guys. That's some really good grades. Traded to the Giants. So we've got 25 minutes to go. Hold on here. Oh, Unk Alert. Let's see. Hold on one sec. We got so much going on here. What is going on here? Give me a sec here. I'm trying to So, this is pretty cool. We've got 827 watching right now between Twitter and Twins and YouTube. Twins are acquiring Jeff Hoffman and Marcelo Mayer from the Red Sox for Eric Miller. I love that. I love that move. Anytime you can get young with guys that have some real upside, that is pretty cool. Just read stuff about Lelane. Don't know if you heard it, but he sounds pretty good. He's better than ever right now, pitching better than ever. Had shoulder surgery. And yeah, pretty cool. All right. Hold on one second. Take it away. I'm going to do a little side business here on the background here. Hold on. Go ahead.
All right, no problem. All right, let's get back into this. See what the new notifications are. The Twins are acquiring Jeff Hoffman in trade with the Blue Jays. Guardians getting Foster Griffin from the Nationals. Marcelo Mayer has had a down year, but he's only 23 and was one of the game's best prospects for years. Tons of upside here. So Pavlovich is on board. Yeah, I think that Ramos will do well as a Yankee.
Yeah, I'm going to root for him.
Alex Pavlovich, a smiling Elliot Ramos. I'm very happy to be a New York Yankee.
Good for Elliott. Good for Elliott. Let's have a Phillies Yankees World Series with Arise and Ramos facing off against each other.
Yeah, I'm down.
I'll be pulling for that or Braves, anything but the Dodgers.
Lelane, a 22-year-old 6'7" lefty, is the Yankees'
6'7".
number 5 prospect.
Yeah, we went over that when you were stepped out. Yeah. He's got a good fastball 60, slider 60. That's pretty darn good. Why would they give away Mayer? I don't know what Boston's deal is. Maybe they feel like is that 4 trades now? I think it's 5, isn't it? Arise, Ray, Malley, Miller, Ramos. 5 trades.
Arise, Ray, Ramos, Miller, Malley. 5.
5 trades, 6 players.
Right.
Man, I'll tell you, I see what they're doing. They want rid of Chapman Adames for sure. And ideally,
Kent,
I think
Caden Kent is the Yankees' number 13 prospect.
Yeah, Caden Kent. Let's I can read the bio on that because I just read Caden Kent. Let's hear about Caden Kent. He can hit a 50 for power, or hit 50, power 45, run 40, arm 50, field 45, overall 40. The son of Hall of Famer Jeff Kent, Caden has the same profile as an offensive-minded infielder who fits best at second base. He was a part-time player for most of his first 2 years at Texas A&M. Before an injury to first-round pick Braden Montgomery thrust him into the lineup during the 24 NCAA tournament. And Kent provided a grand slam in the Super Regionals, hitting .417 in the College World Series. He started at shortstop for the Aggies as a junior, then went into the third round and struggled during an aggressive pro debut assignment at high A. They instead of putting him in low A, they started him at high A. Kent's best attributes are his high baseball IQ, quality left-handed swing. Not a righty like Daddy, and penchant for making line drive contact. He tries to do much at the plate. He tries to do much at the plate at times. I think they meant too much, but they didn't say too. It just says much. I think most people try to do much at the plate, but too much is a problem. And got two more chase and pull happy in high A. Though he still put balls in play fairly easily, he could enhance his offensive profile if he drove more balls into the air and tapped into more of his 15 to 20 homer potential. Kent makes up for below average speed with advanced instincts on the bases and on the field. Though the Yankees will give him every chance to stay at shortstop, his fringy range and average arm are better suited for second base. He's at least an average defender at the Keystone, and his internal clock allows his arm to play up enough that he may be able to handle the third base. Yeah.
Jeff Kent's son is a lefty, and Barry Bonds' nephew is a righty.
Interesting.
And they're all Giants now in the Giants organization.
Yeah.
Elliot Ramos said he's proud of his years in San Francisco. There were ups and downs, but he became an all-star. During a brief interview here in Arlington, he mentioned several times that he can't wait to be teammates with Aaron Judge. He's also excited to hit in that ballpark.
Oh, yeah. I mean, think about it. Elliot goes from the Giants. He's got to be thrilled to put on the pinstripes. And he gets to keep his beard now.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they're not enforcing that anymore.
As long as it's groomed, and Elliot's looks pretty groomed. They don't want shaggy beards.
Yep.
Let's see if we can pull up some of the all the deals, if we can get to some of those.
Captain Rawls, $5 super chat. Looks like the Giants are doing just fine. Now if they can move Adames, here is something for the tip jar. Thanks, Captain. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah,
if they move Adames, Johnny Chisari is going to be dancing in the streets naked.
Yeah. Come on, let's move Adames.
I'm not seeing any rumblings on that. Oh, that might be it.
That beep?
Yeah.
No, that's just my text from talking to Cody right now for Even Year Dynasty show. Friends of NorCal Sports Network, we like what Even Year Dynasty show does over there. Good grasp of what's going on.
And Elliot Ramos, Giants Hot Take, just posted the video of him on Twitter. The only right-hander to hit it to send one into McCovey Cove.
Yeah.
In the history of the ballpark.
So let me pull up the all the deals.
15 minutes.
And remember, they're 15 minutes, but they could go. You could have some deals trickle in, get announced, 3:05, 3:10. One running scorecard for every move today. All right, let's go through. Let's do a recap, Dallas, of the moves today. There's been a lot and some big names. The Astros get Dalton Varsho. Toronto gets Spencer Arguetti. Astros grade is a C plus. Blue Jays get a B. Cubs get Clay Holmes. Cubs grade of a B. The Mets get Jefferson Rojas. They get a B plus. Brewers get Dustin May and JoJo Romero, a C. Maybe because they didn't get Scooble. Cardinals get an A in the deal. Who did the Josiah Ragsdale. Okay. Coming from Milwaukee. Interesting. Okay. These are some smaller deals. Another smaller deal. Liam Hicks was traded to, was it the Yankees or no, the Rays? I think it was the Rays. We'll get to that deal. Luke Weaver, Pirates get an A on that deal. Red Sox get Adley Rutschman and some cash, plus Jake Rogers, 2 catchers. And a catcher goes back from Boston, goes to Baltimore, Carlos Narvaez. C plus for the Red Sox. Interesting. A for the Orioles. Dodgers get Chris Bubeck from the Royals. Dodgers get a B. What do we got here? What's this stuff on the bottom here? Disney ads. What is that? How do I get rid of that, Dallas? Click on something. Do you see that?
No.
Oh, it's just showing up on my end. It's not on the.
Oh, that's an ad.
No, not ad, but see this stuff at the bottom, online privacy. How do I get rid of that?
You can't. It's just the bottom of the page.
Oh, well, it's coming up. I'm scrolling up.
All right. Well, zoom out. It's too big. All right. Yeah, it's tough. You're going to have to.
All right. Let me close it out. Come back to it. I don't know why that does that. Maybe I zoomed too far out. I was just looking at the Robbie Ray trade. It popped up again on me. All right, I'll just read them. Padres reel in Ray. They get a B plus for the deal. The Giants get a B. I haven't seen the Ramos grade up here. They haven't probably put them up yet. Okay, the rest of who got a D plus? Orioles got a D plus for getting rid of Taylor Ward. Interesting. The Giants in the Arise trade, they gave him an A. We talked about that this morning. All right. Well, Dallas, 10 minutes to go.
Mm-hmm.
Verducci liked the Miller trade for the Bo Sox. Harold Reynolds said it was a very good trade for the Giants. Nice. I don't know why I've had trouble today getting my stuff online, but
I mean, Eric Miller has potential to be good, but he's been inconsistent.
yeah, he's been inconsistent. He doesn't fit what the Giants are. He doesn't fit what the Giants are trying to do. If you guys can't see this, the Giants are playing for the end of the decade. This is. I don't expect them to think they're contenders next year with these moves. I think they're rebuilding they know they have some bats.
Yeah, but they're also way overstocked at a lot of positions. You know, there's only one shortstop you can have in 2029, 2030.
Yeah, but keep in mind Hernandez can play third.
Right, they're going to move them everywhere, but even then, you know, Caden Kent and all these.
Some of them will be traded. Some won't make it.
Yeah, they're going to be able to trade guys and fill in where there's gaps.
Yeah, they're going to have a surplus of middle infielders, and but still waiting. Larry's livid at the trade of Elliot Ramos. No, idiotic move to trade him. I haven't seen the return yet, but that move will haunt them. He's only 26. Unless Spencer Jones is coming back, I'm livid. You're going to probably see Elliot Ramos break out in New York.
Yeah, but would he do that at Oracle?
Probably not too much. He's a 20-plus homer guy. We'll see. The Diamondbacks are acquiring Lars Nootbaar from the Cardinals. Sources tell me Alden Gonzalez, Gravy says. All right. I don't know what's going on with my alerts today. Hold on one sec. I'll be right back.
Okay. Now, the question is, we've got 6 minutes left and then a few extra minutes of buffer time. Do the Giants make one more move before the deadline or multiple moves? We will see. Coming down to the deadline here. Justice De Los Santos, the Giants have yet to announce the Elliot Ramos trade, but he just spoke to reporters about being traded to the Yankees. He's excited to work with Aaron Judge, take advantage of the short porch in right field. He thinks he'll look good in pinstripes. I think he will too.
All right. What was this? What is this saying here? Ramos? No, I just clicked on the wrong one. It jumped on me. The one above it. Jeez, what the heck? Ramos' deal is far from done. What are we talking
far
about?
From done. We're 5 minutes.
The deal's done, right?
Deals. I don't think the Giants have announced it yet.
Really? Who besides Passan is putting out some of these? Joel Sherman and Bob Nightingale. Who else is? I'm checking.
Rosenthal.
Yeah, Ken Rosenthal. I somehow my phone got all whacked out here. Nothing in the last few minutes. Let me see if I can get the show on here. I don't know why the deadline. Okay, here we go. With the Padres a lot at that time. Why can't we put the ball in play like this guy does? He's coming off on his 4th year, 400 or more plate appearances, and he's had more walks than strikeouts. I'm listening to. Are you hearing that background noise at all? I don't want it to come on. You are hearing it?
I was, yeah.
Okay, we don't want to put that on.
The Guardians are acquiring Nathaniel Lowe in a trade with the Cincinnati Reds.
Okay. I'm wondering if the Giants are just not getting any offers, or they're just too bad. They're bad offers for Adames or Devers. Got 2 minutes and
I'm sure it
50
comes down
seconds.
to wanting them to pay too much money of the salary.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get much back for him
Yeah.
anyway. It's just a matter of how much are you going to eat.
Are we going to get something crazy in the last minute? The Miami Dolphins, the Marlins, I say, are acquiring right-hand reliever Victor Vodnik. Jeff Passan. Joe Adell is going to the Guardians from the Angels. I don't understand these deals. Like, there's a deadline and you want to trade certain people. Why are you pushing it like to the last minutes? 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go.
Both Pavlovich and Slusser say Tidwell is going to get one of the next 2 game starts.
Okay. Are we going to get a late, like a Chris Bryant deal at the very last minute today from the Giants? We're not getting a Logan Webb deal. I think they missed that.
Beck, Seymour, Buddy Kennedy, Tidwell, and Reaver San Martin all have lockers in Dallas.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Boy, this team can. Hey, bring on the 100 losses, maybe. Kevin Gausman went to the Cubs. What? Mike Evans of the Niners is hurt now? I just saw a note at the bottom of ESPN.
What?
Mike Evans injury update. What are we hearing?
I just heard him interviewed on KNBR this morning.
What happened with Mike Evans? Oh my gosh. He was
quad strain.
Oh, quad. Not good. That's 6 weeks. At least it is for baseball players. Substation.
It's a strain, though. Who knows? It's an abundance of caution.
All right. We're down to the last few seconds. It's now 3:00 officially. Let's see if any of these deals actually come through. Kirby Yates to the Pirates. Pirates are trying to get bullpen of guys that used to be good. Duvall, Yates. They also got Weaver, who is still pretty good. But don't know. Casey Mize going to the Padres. Padres get Mize and Wait a minute. Maybe Ramos is not going. Was told the Yankees, Joel Sherman, 7 seconds ago. Oh, no. Ramos is at deal. Yeah. Was told the Yankees made no other trades beyond Garcia Jr. and Ramos. So Ramos, if Ramos already spoke on it, by the way, as you quoted him, he's officially gone. So no surprises with the Giants. The Giants I did win my imaginary bet of over 5.5 deals. They actually did they make 5 deals or 6 and 7 players? Or did they just make 5 deals? Arise.
5 deals, 6 players.
Okay. Maybe I lost my under. But I did tell you there was going to be at least 5 deals, right? Yeah. I still think we're going to get another trade. I don't know if it's going to be a Giants trade, but we're going to hear a couple of more names that are going to be reported here. Yeah, Johnny Chisari. Dan, a Kent will play with the Bonds. Yeah. Dieter Kurtenbach, buying low on a one-time, not long ago, Uber prospect, which is Marcelo Mayer, for a reliever that I promise you will never think about again, is the kind of stuff that makes me trust in Buster to do a full-blown rebuild if allowed. That's what he's trying to do. Yeah, this I'm ecstatic about that. Okay, minor quad strain for Evans. Okay, give him 2 to 3 weeks. I don't care. He don't need that much of camp. 3 weeks is fine. Bring him back. The season doesn't start till what? September. What is the first game? Like 7th, 8th, or something like that in Australia.
First game is the 10th.
Okay, that's what, 5 weeks from now? Hold him out 3 weeks. Just help him. Yeah, at least if it's very minor. Can Mayer play third base, Gravy said. Yes, he does. He does play. He's played third with Boston. He's an infielder. Shortstop, third base, can play second as well. Still waiting for that text to come across.
San Diego Padres with the buzzer beater. Right-hander Casey Mize from the Detroit Tigers.
Didn't I say that one?
Oh, did you? I didn't hear it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, Marcelo Mayer. Baseball trade values. Oh, we should be checking the baseball trade values on some of these deals and see how they came out. The Red Sox reportedly acquired left-handed pitcher Eric Miller, $4.6 million surplus value from the Giants in exchange for infielder Marcelo Mayer, $27.9 million surplus value. The deal is rejected by our model as an overpay by Boston. That's good. I meant to do that earlier today, but I've been running around. I've got to leave here in less than 2 minutes or so. Let me see if I can pull up the baseball trade value here machine and baseball trade values. Sign in. All right. Let's see if we can pull up some of the deals. Trade simulator. Let's do the Ramos deal. Giants, Yankees. Let's see how that one works, because the Elliot Ramos had a 9.6 to the Yankees, and the Yankees are getting, or the Giants are getting, what was the guy's names again? Besides Kent, it was Lelane. I always think of Jack Lelane.
Fun fact, Marcelo Meyer and Casey Schmidt both attended East Lake High School in Chula Vista, California. They missed each other by 1 year.
Casey Schmidt and Meyer?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's pretty cool. Well, they'll be teammates on. Maybe they'll be our shortstop and third baseman. It would be nice. I'm not seeing. Why am I not seeing Lelang here on here yet? Hold on here. I'm not seeing him on the. He should be higher up than this. Maybe I missed him on page 1. Lelang. How do you spell him, Lelang?
L-A-L-A-N-E.
L-A-L-A-N-E. I see LaGrange. Oh, there he is, Henry Lelang. Okay. Here's the deal, guys. And then I'm going to run off and I'll let you close it out, see if there are any more that comes in. But here's the trade simulator. The Giants did pretty good there. I don't know if you could see that.
Mm-hmm.
So 16.1 to 9.6. Not bad. All right, Dallas. I may jump back in on the car here, but I'll let you close her out. And nothing else has come in, right?
Nope.
Why don't you hang for about 5 more minutes and then just close it out, see if something pops in.
Okay.
In case there is that major deal, but it doesn't sound like it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll be back tonight for our 4th show of the day.
Post-game show.
Yeah, we'll be back for the Giants post-game around 7:30, 8 o'clock. All right. Dallas will close you out. You guys take care.
See you, Dan. All right. Dan's heading out. So I will reload the news here, see what's coming on. It's now 10 minutes past the deadline. A lot of people shocked at the Eric Miller Marcelo Mayer trade. I think that, they must really like Eric Miller because there's a lot of fans of the Boston Red Sox saying, "Excuse me, what happened?" Pretty funny. we will see if there's any more trades that pop in here. All right, everyone, post your final comments here. Sour Shoes thinks Chapman's going to announce he's coming off the IL now that the trade deadline's over. We'll see if that theory holds water. Tristan says the Tigers got a better pitching prospect from the Padres than we did for Ray. Gage Workman and Cash Mayfield and Southpaw Jackson Wolf. So they got 3. Could be. I do like the guys the Giants got, though. I'm not seeing anything else coming through. I think that's going to be it for the trade deadline, which means that none of the big 3 got moved, which we expected. There was some rumblings about Adames and Devers there at the end. But those are some big moves with lots of dollar signs behind it that didn't end up happening. So doesn't mean that you can't wait a couple of months and do that in the off season. But with this lockout happening, probably going to have to wait until baseball resumes again. So, yeah, we will see what happens there. So, but definitely a lot of moving parts. To recap it, the Giants traded Malley, Killian, Robbie Ray, Luis Ariz, Elliot Ramos, and Eric Miller. And they're getting infielder Marcelo Mayer, a right-handed pitcher, Anthony Molina, for Malley, who probably the least sexy pickup of the bunch, but maybe the Giants like him. Right-handed, he has the Phillies number 4. Pitcher Marty Gayer. I don't know how you pronounce his name. I've heard it pronounced 3 different ways today. They also picked up right-handed pitcher Miguel Mendez, the number 10 prospect for San Diego, and Joniel Hernandez, the Padres' number 21 prospect. They received left-handed pitcher Henry Lalaine, New York Yankees number 5 prospect, and infielder Caden Kent, the Yankees number 14 prospect. So that means we've got 1, 2, 3 top 10 prospects from 2 different organizations, a number 14 prospect and number 21 prospect, and then 3 other players that the Giants liked. So I think that overall, I mean, there's some pretty good pieces there. Prospects, obviously, there's no guarantees in baseball if these guys pan out eventually. But the Giants did need pitching in their in their farm system. They're overloaded with middle infielders, and the pitching has been a little light. So they're filling up the cabinet, so to speak. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pitchers, and then 1, 2, 3 more infielders were added. And we will see how those pan out in the future. It's all down the road. There could be some guys that we see, but these are mostly going to be 20, 29 type of players that are going to help us in the future, or they could be moved for other pieces that they need. Johnny's not happy. He still wants Adames moved. Not going to happen right now, but, you never know. They did sign a shortstop that can play right now, which means maybe Adames slides over to second base. Maybe they sit Adames and give him a rest and let him heal up his injuries that are preventing him from being able to practice with Ron Washington. So tune in tonight, guys. The Giants game is Logan Webb against the Texas Rangers. The game tonight against Cal Quantrill at 5:05 Pacific. So we will be probably around 7:30 for the post-game show. And we will talk about these trades some more. We can read some reaction from online, and we can talk about what team the Giants put on the field tonight to fill in the holes left by Luis Ariz leaving and all the injuries. So we will see what the Giants have in store for us. Tune in tonight for the post-game show. And we will see you then. We do not need to play the music. I'll just give you a goodbye, and we can see you in a little bit. Later, guys.